Hi guys, back again. So many products. I feel I'll be doing a lot of videos in the next month or two. And by the way, if you haven't watched my Obsidian video, you're missing out. All the players I mentioned are selling for crazy money. So still time. People are still breaking Obsidian. So if you haven't watched it, do watch it. Because when I went through the base cards that I thought would sell well have actually sold well. I mean, the USA ladies, the Dortmund guys, even the Barcelona cards. So that was good. But today, I mean, so many products. Like I said, I was gonna do one for Topps Museum, which came out, but slight change of plan. Why? Because this product's coming out in 7 days. Let me get this. Impeccable Soccer, or as you all know, it's EPL, English Premier League Impeccable Soccer. That's actually coming out. Well, by the time I'm doing this video now, it's about 7 days that's coming out. No, yeah, 7 days. That's correct, 7 days, because it's Friday. It's coming out next Friday. So I thought I would squeeze this in, so people can actually have time to have a look, or at least listen to what I have to say or what I'm doing, and then I'll go back and do another one on Topps Museum, which is insane in terms of checklists. But back to Impeccable. I wanted to go through, not so much, I won't touch so much on the design, because I think most of you guys would know what design would look like. We haven't actually seen the cards because it hasn't come out. We haven't actually seen gallery from Panini in terms of the quality control, but I wanted to go through sort of like the main guys, the possible case hits, the teams that it should hit easy, which autos I think people are going to chase or should have value, and sort of touch on the checklist a little bit. So that's the sort of general idea that I wanted to go through in this video. But like I said, in terms of design, I mean, these are the pictures that a lot of people put out, Panini have put out. And as usual, with Impeccable, the card looks good. The little bit different, the top with the Prudence is apparently this year, the metal cards, they'll have like sort of the blackish design. So I'm waiting to see if those are actually cool when they actually come out. I mean, it looks really nice in the picture, but wanted to see, and of course sort of like the stats or the club history that they were good from last year. A little bit different design. I think with the logo of Manchester United Royal, I think that's a mock up. A little bit concerned because the standard starts with Sunday. It looks like it's going to be a sticker auto, and as you know, last year with all the metal cards, autos that were on cards, that's one of the issues that I'll talk about as well. So like I said, in terms of design, well, I think we'll just wait for the actual product to come out, or at least when Panini puts out the quality control gallery, we might get a better feel of the designs. And talking about that, I think in 12 hours, Panini is actually selling the first of the line boxes with the guarantee. Each box we have like exclusive silver bar. So we'll see what the price is. It's a Dutch auction, which I think starts at 3,000 USD. So I'm waiting to see what price it sells out at as well. But like I said, I wanted to go through sort of like more checklisted orders rather than the design, because design's a personal opinion, right? So I'll leave that until the card comes out, then we'll have a look. But let's go through here. As I always start off with the case hit possibilities. So if you're chasing the big guys, I add these up based on the checklists that were put out. And before I go through each player, like mentioned below, these include the so-called, I mean, it has a category which says Ruby Parallel. I'm assuming there's going to be either Asia first of the line or Asia or Asian exclusive, because they're 225. So I'm assuming, but I add those up together, and surprise, surprise, we look at the top three players: CR7, Beckham, and Rooney, all from Manchester United. You got like almost 1,000 cards. So I assume those are definitely going to be case hits. Beckham was from last year, so I add him in there. But as you can see, he's so short print. I have Aubameyang as a yellow highlight because I'm not sure if he's going to be a case hit or not. I'm assuming he is due to the number of cards of the other players that are out. Pulisic last year he had both on-card autos and stickers, and again he has a tons of cards. And this year's pro out. Last year Liverpool had Suarez as a case hit. This year, as mentioned below, there's no Suarez, so I assume Steven Gerrard will be a case hit. And if you look at the cards, I mean, a bit above Bergkamp, but 97 cards, that's so low. Me as a Liverpool fan, I'm considering if I should chase his card or just wait for someone to hit it and sell it and buy it. So I'm still on the fence on that. And of course, same as last year, Harry Kane was a case hit. I didn't put Son in because I don't think Son's going to be a case hit. Son in EPL Prism wasn't a case hit. I didn't put Havertz in because Havertz in EPL, again, is not a case hit. So you add those up, and there's around 2,470 cards. Like I said, I assume these will include the Asia inclusive. So maybe in terms of the normal hobby, it'll be 1,500. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to separate them out. But looking at this, safe bet would be Man U, man. I mean, you've got 3 players that I'm not going to say definite, but 95% are going to be case hits. So that's 960 cards. Almost half are going to be case hits. I mean, Liverpool sucks. It's got 97 cards in terms of case hit, but is it Pulisic and Kane? I mean, if you're taking Man United, you're not going to get a case hit. If I think your worst fear would be Pulisic or Kane. Mentioned below, for some reason there's no more Thierry Henry and Suarez as case hits, and surprisingly there's no Cantona in the checklist as well. So based on the list, I mean, if you've got enough cash, take Man U, you're definitely going to hit. Not to mention they've got like a ton of cards. When we go through, you're going to see more. They've got like a ton of cards. So, and some, I mean, as I'm doing the video now, I've seen some people list the PYT already. I think Manchester United, some people have got it at 1,700, 1,500. So it is a bit expensive, but if you look at these cards, you're going to know why. Now, I've also got a couple more interesting cards or players that I think people are going to chase, so I put them up there. As you can see, I've got Saka here because he's got a ton of autos, but I didn't put him as a case hit. Maybe he could be a case hit. I doubt it. I could be wrong, but I see a lot of people are going to be chasing Saka autos. Tierney autos and Smith-Rowe autos. Now, Tierney and Smith-Rowe Smith-Rowe was in last year's product. Tierney has had a ton. He's in Impeccable as well. But my feeling is that because I've got it to the right there, that both of these players has extravagant autos. And if you looked at last year's product, I'm assuming it's going to be the same as last year. If you looked at last year's product, these cards, the patches are so nice, so sick. And if Panini keeps up the trend like last year with the nice patches, these cards are going to sell well. Jack Grealish, first time auto over Panini, so I'm sure people are going to chase that. Might help to sell Aston Villa a bit. Brighton with Lamptey, again a rookie. Same with Palace and Eze. So maybe some of the guys will take a punt or take some risks and taking these autos. Hopefully, the long term that they will actually come good. Similar, you see these trends with when EPL Prism came out, people were taking Crystal Palace or taking Brighton to chase these base cards. I mean, granted they are Prism base cards, but these are actual autos of these players. The big question would be, are they on cards? Last year, rookie cards or rookie players autos were on card. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this year will be the same. I've got Soyuncu Leicester there as well because another new auto. I know he's a defender, but it might be worthwhile investing. And Liverpool, of course, people are going to be chasing Curtis Jones auto. City has Foden, and I've got Eric Garcia as well. So how high the value of these players will go will depend on if they're on cards. I'm hoping the young guys are on cards because long term these cards value would stay firm or increase. I've got Bernardo Silva here. People might ask why. He's had a ton of autos. He's in EPL Prism. I think he's in Obsidian. but I think it's the first time he's got patch autos, and he has the extravagance auto. So, like I said, I'm hoping a lot of these patches are the same as last year, and they're really sick. I mean, even if I jump to Raul Jimenez, imagine hitting his extravagance auto. I mean, last year's even 25, you're getting logos. I have a Van Dijk 25 with an actually Liverpool logo. So imagine having like a Raul Jimenez to 25 with a Wolverhampton Wanderers or logo. That would be sick. Same with Sun. Sun has these patch auto as well. So people are going to be Spurs might actually be a good bet. You got Kane as a case hit, and then you got lots of Sun autos to chase as well. And of course, I've got the spelling's not right here, but you get what I mean. Bruno Fernandes. A lot of Manchester United fans probably want this. I mean, he has autos in tops before. I think it was in Sporting Lisbon colours, but this is the first time it's going to be in Manchester United auto. So again, back to Man U. A lot of people are going to be chasing these cards, but I think these are the players that should. And the keyword is should have some term of value. I mean, apart from the case hit, which I already mentioned, and some of these players. And what I like is that it will actually help sort of like if you're joining breaks for the bigger teams, because, Villa, Brighton, and Palace usually aren't the most popular. I mean, no disrespect to these team supporters or fans or the teams itself, but, usually they don't have these kind of autos. The price point are going to be cheap, and then the costs are at the big team. So by having these players actually helps out a little bit in terms of the bigger teams are a little bit cheaper. But again, the keyword would be, are these rookie autos on card? I'm hoping yes. But in terms of how they rush out the product, there's no champion card like last year. Certain series are missing. Like I think Victory is only Aubameyang, so I don't know. It seems a bit rushed. So hopefully they do have some players that are actually on card for these players. Now, if you're just chasing a hit, if you just want a hit, I went through the checklist for you. And yes, granted, there are big teams and small teams. I already mentioned Spurs. Spurs got a lot of cards. Wolves have got a lot of cards. Maybe not the best bunch. I mean, good players, but it's the same players for Wolves. It's sort of like repetitive, but they have a lot of autos. Burnley usually not the most popular, but if you go look at the checklist, there's a ton of autos for Burnley. And for some reason, Dwight McNeil is so short print. I don't know, maybe because he's had so many autos in the past. But Dwight McNeil, if you look at the checklist, is very short print. But Burnley has a lot of autos. Chelsea have a lot of autos. Again, apart from Pulisic, which is the case, I think there's a Kai Havertz. I mean, we can have a look at it later on. But the other autos are sort of, I don't know, I'm on the fence. Man U, tons of autos. I mean, I looked at it, there's RC, there's Brandon Williams. I mean, there's Bruno Fernandes, there's Nani, there's Rooney, Beckham, CR7, and the list goes on. There's Evra, I think there's RVP, a lot. So Man U, gonna be expensive. Southampton, a lot of people used to complain because I know a lot of Southampton fans that they're not getting any cards and all this, and all of a sudden, every product that's released, Southampton checklist is getting better and better. Now, after a while, I might get old because it's what Danny Ings, Ward-Prowse, and all that. But it's quite cool. Now, as of Impeccable this year, hopefully Panini will chop and change and get more players in for these sort of teams. The big question I got down there, like I said earlier, are the Sailor Star autos going to be on card? You sort of mock up that Sun seems like a sticker, but it's going to kind of suck, right? I mean, you get like a metal card and it's a sticker on. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the Panini Immaculate booklet looks sort of funny with the booklet, and then there's a sticker auto rather than an on-card auto. So hopefully at least some will be on card. A second point is that, I mean, if you collect cards long enough, you know what John Joe Shelby autos will look like. And I don't know, man. Hopefully he's changed his autos for Newcastle supporters' sake. And the third point is that I went through the checklist, and Leeds are the only team with no autos. Surprisingly, I mean, really, they couldn't get anyone from Leeds to sign. But yeah, Leeds is the only team with no autos. Sun on card autos. From the mock-up, it looks like a secret. I'm just hoping at least there'll be one or two with Sun. I mean, imagine having Sun on card autos, and people are going to be chasing Spurs all over the place. Leeds have no autos, right? But I look at West Ham's checklist, and I mean, people used to complain that West Ham had a really weak checklist. This time's even worse. I think they've got like one auto, which is Fabianski or something. So again, West Ham's going to be one of those teams that going to be so hard to sell. I mean, people say, yeah, they've got like silver bars, gold bars, and base cards, right? But a case is free box, and each case has like one silver or gold, and each box has what, 2 base cards? So a whole case is like 6 base cards. So are you really going to take these teams just for chances, the base cards or the silver or the gold? I don't know. And my last point, not because I'm a Liverpool supporter, but seriously, Panini, like, do we really need that many Man U autos in the product? I mean, you couldn't balance it out. You couldn't, make it more interesting, or, it's kind of sucks, especially, I mean, Panini's got to know that these products are, a lot of people are breaking them now, and, to have one side so many autos, it's just, I don't know. I have no idea who's behind all the plannings and all that. But at least this will sort of give you an idea. And I wanna give like a shout out to Nicholas Fu. I mean, I'll be sharing this Excel in my group, so you definitely want to follow the group. But with every product, Nick does the best checklist. I mean, I know Panini puts it out, and then Cardboard Connection does it out. I mean, Group A Checklist has the checklist, but the way Nick does it, I mean, he even does it like different colors and all. I mean, if you look at each team, right? Nick's sort of like broken down, so it made my job a lot easier by doing this video, because he actually broken down in different colors, the types of autos, what subset cards are, and the jersey autos, and then with all the patches. So and it's broken down in the team. And what I love about Nick's Excel is that he actually has the parallel. So it's just not saying that Gerard this type, and you have print run is 40 without knowing the parallel. So like I said, a big shout out to Nick. I'll be, with his permission, which is granted, I'll be sharing this Excel in my group, because even me personally, I use it to track the cards I want, and it's like this for every team. I mean, I can jump to Chelsea, like I said, Burnley. I mean, let's quickly have a look at Burnley. Like I said, these greens are autos. I mean, you might not be able to see it in the video because it's so small, but Burnley has a ton of autos. Like I said, so Burnley's going to be easy to hit. And I was mentioning that Leeds has no autos. So there you go, Leeds. Reds are just silver bars, metals, cards. Leeds have no autos, no patches. Ton of base cards. I mean, if you're checking Leeds base cards. And the other two teams that I've sort of found weak is like Fulham with one auto of Lookman. I mean, he already has on cards in Impeccable, the booklet. So Fulham is a sort of weakish team. Or even for Everton fans, I mean, there are some autos. A lot, 80% is like Michael Keane, and there's Wayne Rooney there. I mean, the cool thing about Everton is that if you're a diehard Everton fan, then maybe it's worth chasing the Wayne Rooney stainless stars. I mean, it's only 25 cards with no parallel, but Rooney is there, so he would be a case hit under the circumstances there. But there's like 25 cards. The rest of like Michael Keane and all that. Liverpool actually has a ton of autos, but I don't know, sort of weakish. Stood out for me, like I already mentioned, is the Gerrard and the Curtis Jones. I mean, they have Henderson there, Robertson, which is so short print, and Neco Williams and all that. But I think Liverpool people are just going to be chasing Curtis Jones. And I mean, even for the silver, I mean, they did add Trent and Thiago, so maybe I'll be chasing those as well, just complete the set, including last year. And with the Manchester team, there's a lot of autos, especially with Man U. I want to get to Man U, give you an idea of how many autos Man U have. Let me click here. Look at the Man U list, and it fills almost a whole entire page with the autos. I mean, I didn't mention there's Gary Neville, there's Luke Shaw, Alex Tellers, which used to sign with Tops. Ever I already mentioned, there's Dean Henderson, and Bissaka. There's so many autos. I mean, I think actually Man U, when it's broken down to combos, might actually be interesting how people break down the combos, and I think a lot of people will be chasing these kind of cards. Kind of sucks for Newcastle, like I said, there's John Joe Shelby and Dubravka. So Sheffield United is even worse. I think there's only Billy Sharp. Yeah, there's only Billy Sharp autos. I mean, there's Ryan Brewster, but I don't think he has scored a single goal in the Premier League this year. And if you look at Southampton, I said Southampton, it's not large, but you look, there's a lot of types of autos, and they're getting more autos for Southampton. So if you're a Southampton fan, it's good times collecting the cards. Spurs now could be a team that's a little bit under the radar. I mean, we have seen a little drop, sort of in terms of Suns autos price, but those are the cards in EPL Prism that are unnumbered or unparalleled. I mean, with all these being numbered, I could see sort of like the Sun price standing out a little bit. And like I said, Harry Kane's a case hit, and Kane does have a lot of autos. So, Spurs could be a team that, man, for me, I just want to see the extravagance Sun to 25. If they actually have like some sick patches with the Sun auto, that would be cool. And I mean, West Brom's got autos, but again, not the sickest. And like I said, West Ham has like Fabianski, which is like so short print as well. So really, that's all they could do. Kind of strange. And like I mentioned, Wolf, tons and tons of auto with Wolf. Sort of repetitive with sort of like the Podence and the Pedro Neto, but they do have Adama Traore. I mean, he's gone off the boil a little bit. If it was last year, people would be going crazy for Wolves, but he has got off the ball. It will be interesting to see, the manager does join the Spurs, and, to freshen things up, he might make a transfer, and hopefully he'll recapture his form. Then it might be a good time to invest in his autos and cards if he does move, But, like I said, big shout out to Nick. Nick does a great job of doing a checklist, and he just doesn't do this for this product, he does it for every product. And I think for 90% of the products, once he sends them to me, I do share them. He does give permission to use it, to share it. I have asked him, so I'll be sharing that as well in the group. So that's basically sort of like a quick, I won't say a quick tour, but a quick sort of like capture of what the product, but at least it will give you an idea of which team you want to take. I mean, it depends on how much you want to spend as well. Or if you're one of those guys who's just waiting for the resale on eBay, then that's cool as well. So it'll give you an idea which team if you want to hit, if you're chasing the good autos, or one of those guys who like to take the big boys. It'll be interesting to see is that once the product comes out, is that how well the resale value is. I mention this because not once, last year's product came out, right? Prices were high, and it dropped. A lot of cards dropped significantly, even like the KC autos like Bergkamp and Henry as time went on. But after a while, it went back up, and it's increased a fair bit. I mean, of course, like Mount, because of reform, it's gone up a lot. But so it would be interesting to see that once the product comes out, people sell it, and then the guys that I mentioned, like the Grealish, the Eze, even like Seek Patches or Bernardo Silva or Son, I expect them to be quite high. And now with the trend of so little on-card autos, and if they actually get the good rookies such as Curtis Jones to be an on-card auto, I think it could be huge in terms of resale value. Again, once the product comes out, which is in 7 days, I'll give it another 7 days, so all that 14 days, and I'll probably do another video to discuss, in terms of price, resale prices, and if we were right or what we think the market would do. But gotta wait 7 days till it comes out, and then another 7 days, even 10 days for the price to steady out, and then we'll see if it's worthwhile. So all in all, that's about it for this video. I mean, hope you guys like it, you find it useful, and like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't watched the Obsidian video, you should, because a lot of people are still breaking Obsidian, and people have increased a lot of teams I mentioned, but there's still a lot of good deals out there. You can change those cards in breaks and sell them. You may be making a fair bit as well. And if you haven't subscribed, you can follow my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and like I said, I'll be sharing the Excel at the Super Sub Facebook as well. So if you want that Excel, I'll be sharing it a bit later on once the video is out, and you guys can just use it to track the cards you want as well. So until then, thanks guys for watching. Take care. Have fun collecting, and I'll see you again soon. See ya.